Welcome to the 19th ESC Every Soldier Counts podcast.
Wherever you find American troops today, you find the men of the Transportation Corps. Enough and on time. That's the story we tell you today. The story of the Army Quartermaster Corps.
These youthful servicemen are members of the Army's Military Police Corps.
One of the most important forces behind the lines, the Army Ordnance Corps.
Welcome to the 19th ESC Every Soldier Counts podcast. I am Sergeant First Class Adam Ross, Public Affairs NCOIC for 19th Expeditionary Sustainment Command. And today we are joined by Sergeant First Class Milka Paulino, the SARC for 19th ESC. We are in April, which is helping with the acronym Sexual Assault Awareness Prevention Month. Yes. I got it. Okay, well, welcome, Sergeant Paulino.
Thank you for having me.
And then I said you're the SARC because I couldn't remember what that acronym stands for. So
okay. The Sexual Assault Response Coordinator.
So you are basically the top enlisted SHARP resource, basically.
Yes.
Okay. And so with our guests, we usually start off kind of talking about their position, what brought them to it. So what can you tell me about how you came to become a SARC? What attracted you to this position?
Well, it was a while ago. It was 2017. I was in one of the NCO development class. And one of my battle buddies have been sexually assaulted. And she actually tried to find help and couldn't. And I sat down with her and talked to her a little bit. And that got me started.
So just from that experience, from talking to her and realizing that you could kind of be a change agent yourself?
Yes.
And so before that, had you really given it any thought?
Actually, I heard about the program, but I didn't believe in it until that time.
And so take me through the process of becoming a SARC then. What does it entail?
Well, it's a lot of training. We had to do a course for 13 weeks. Well, they reduced it to 8 weeks now. But first you had to become a BA. And after you become an BA, that's a 4-week training.
That's victim advocate.
Victim advocate. Mm-hmm. And after you become a victim advocate, you had to go to the course. Once you get the little bit experience of how to do victim advocacy, and then you go to the course, you get selected to the course. And after the course, you keep retraining. And I have the interview. I got the lucky to be interviewed at 19th. And
so as a SARC at 19th, you kind of... you have other VAs underneath you who support this effort, right?
Yes, I have SARCs and VAs.
SARCs and VAs, okay.
Yes.
And so in 19th, about how many personnel does that mean?
Well, I don't work just for 19th. We work as a whole group. So I work with 4th, I work with Garrison. So we all come together as SARCs and we manage our VA. But for Area 4, I'm the lead SARC for Area 4. And we have a lot of personnel. I have maybe around 8 SARCs underneath me.
Oh, really?
And then BAs, I have maybe 12.
Wow. Okay. So let's get... April is SAPM, as we said, Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month. What can you tell me about SAPM, what goes on during this month?
Well, a lot of activities, I'll tell you that. All the leaders are involved, all the soldiers are involved, especially our ambassador troops, the one that being on our training. We have activities such as art training, which is the physical year training for SHARP. We also have what we call the kick out of sexual assault. We have the stomp out of sexual assault as well. And for 98 have the 72 hours walk, which is a pretty good event.
I remember hearing about that last year. What is the importance of doing events like that for SHARP?
Well, it just brings up the morale and the awareness because as they walk through the field, they are going to see a lot of broadcasting of the SHARP program, how they can do a report, who they can go to. So they be learning as they walk.
Mm-hmm. And what would you advise commanders to do? Like if they're looking for something to do for SAPM, what kind of ideas do you give them?
What kind of idea? Well, we have a couple ideas, such as let's do the escape room. We're gonna have the escape room in Walker and Carroll. So let's come and we ask and train with us. I ask the commanders to be involved in the program, and that's gonna be the must, because if you, a leader, are involved in the program, the soldiers are gonna follow you.
Yeah, definitely. And so the commander needs to show that they're buying into this as well, and that's why they hold these events.
Of course.
And talking with Miss Cortez, who works with who's also in your office, she was telling me about a big thing that you're focusing on now is preventing these kind of incidents from happening. And so what goes into that?
Oh, Allah. So right now the focus for this year is prevention start with you, with the individual. So remember the domino effect. Everything that you do is going to affect your battle body, is going to affect your family, it's going to affect your unit, of course, and then it's going to affect the post and in the command. So we are trying to make sure people understand every action that you do affect everybody. So what goes into it is a lot of training, a lot of awareness. We are going to do training where you are going to learn a situation that you find yourself, you can get out of it, and the resources that you have available for it.
Yeah, I think for most soldiers, when we think about sharp training, it's a lot of like how you report an incident and how those incidents are dealt with, not really preventing it from ever starting like that. And so take me through the sharp mission and vision here in Area 4.
So 19 SHARP mission is to enhance 19 ESC readiness through the prevention of sexual assault, sexual harassment in the association of retaliation behaviors while providing comprehensive response capabilities. The vision is fostering a climate of dignity, healthy relationship, and respect where everyone can reach their maximum potential.
And so really, yeah, that last part there really says it all, because we can't complete our mission if we don't have, our maximum team members at their maximum potential. So it's all tied in with the mission, right? Yeah.
And one thing that we understand when we're doing the ambassador training is that if you don't know what is a bad behavior look like, you're not going to correct it. And that's our main focus when we do ambassador training, is for you to understand the bad behaviors, see how it look like. Maybe you think it's not a bad behavior because I do it, I'm so used to doing it. But we want you to understand that it is a bad behavior, but we also want you to understand how to correct it.
And let's focus on that a little bit more. You've mentioned ambassador training a couple times. So Team 19 ambassador training is something that happens regularly on Camp Walker. And what goes on in those classes? So
right now it's going online. And what's going on in there, we do SMEs. So the SMEs, the expert, the soldier matter expert, what we call them. Those are the people that actually are handling situations for sexual assault, sexual harassment. But they also are the people that are every day with you, and you didn't know that they provide this service. So in there also, the soldiers are going to learn how to good behaviors and bad behaviors that they can get corrected. They also are going to learn who they can talk to and who they can go to.
And what kind of soldiers are coming to these classes? It's not just leaders or anything. These are junior soldiers.
Junior soldiers, E4 and below, and then we have the leaders as well. We just had a class where we have 15 leaders, and we have captains, we have CW2s, and we have a staff sergeant, platoon sergeants. It was a really good class. They were very interactive, and we did it online. So for the soldiers, we do it on Google Meet, and for the leaders, we do it on Teams. Okay. And I went to one of the tail end of one of those classes one time to get pictures, and what struck me was you have the soldiers come in civilian clothes, so they feel more at ease of talking with one another. And so how does that translate online? Have you still found, is it a good kind of candid conversation online? Oh, yes, because they when they're online, they're in the house, they're in the room, so they feel a little bit more comfortable to talk, and they the participation is really good because the conversation are pretty clear and relaxed.
And I know sometimes General Allen or Sergeant Major Peters will come by those ambassador classes. Have they been able to visit on the online?
Well, we have Sergeant Major Peters, and we also have 94th Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Chaplin.
Yeah, Colonel Shockley. Yeah, I know it's a very big priority for all the leadership there. It seems like we've gotten really good results from those ambassador classes. And so, if someone wants to be a part of that, how do they go about that?
So I actually have a roster where I invite the commanders. So last week we had a Lieutenant Colonel Chaplin, and the next week we choose the other person. We already have 498 commander. They came, Lieutenant Colonel Agon. So we invite them according to the roster.
And for junior soldiers, though, like if they want to be a part, be in the class.
Oh, for the junior soldier, they only had to get with the VA, and they will get the authorization form to me and my VA as well as Sergeant Wilson, and we both will coordinate and send them the emails, and then they are good to go.
And it's a 3-day long course? How long?
For the junior soldiers, yes, 3 days. But for the leader, it's only 2 days.
Okay. And let's go back to something you said a little bit earlier, correcting bad behaviors. So what can you tell me about that?
Well, sometimes we think, and the big one that we've seen is the consent part. Like sometimes we think consent look one way when we actually teach them the consent look different ways. So a lot of people, we hear them say, oh, consent had to be verbal. But according to the regulation, it's a willing participant and a capable participant. So somebody that is coherent and somebody that can give you yes, or somebody that is willing, is participating on the act.
And so obviously if someone was drunk or unconscious, they're not able to give consent.
According to the regulation, no, they're not.
And something else we were going to talk about was pay attention to what you say to a survivor. What does that mean to you?
Well, sometimes we as leaders, we fail to the soldiers that have been through a situation so dramatic like sexual assault, and we tend to say words that bring the soldiers down. So we're trying to teach commanders and leaders that the support is what we need for those soldiers. So sometimes you don't even have to say a word. Sometimes all being there and listening is enough.
And so how do you need to become an active listener then when someone is talking to you about that, right?
Yes.
And then, so if they want to say something, offer help, what's a good way to offer that support then to them?
Well, the first thing I will ask the commander is get in touch with your VA and connect them to the VA, because those are the personnel that have been trained to do it. Those are the personnel that are going to walk them through every little thing of the report. So get them in touch with the VA and get them in touch with behavioral health as well, or the chaplain.
And so all this training we're talking about, how has this evolved for you since you first became a SARC? Like, what are some things you've learned maybe for your toolbox, even outside of the formal training?
Being patient, because I'm the type of person that want to go, everything is fast. I want to be everything, let's do this. But I had to be patient. I had to be patient with commanders. I had to be patient with the junior soldiers. And I had to be patient with the leaders as well, including my leaders. I had to be patient with them as well.
Mm-hmm. And so we've talked about how leaders respond to it. What would you tell, I guess maybe, what would you tell a survivor? Like how, what tips do you as a SARC give them? Like how do you support them?
Well, the first thing I tell them, you're not alone. We are here for you. We are here to support you. We are here to listen. Even if you don't want to do a report, we are here for you. And anything that they need, we just want them to understand that they're not alone.
And so when we started, you said that you knew about the program before, but you didn't really believe in it. So is that something you encounter sometimes with soldiers, and how do you overcome that with them?
So the way we overcome it is showing them that we are here for them. That's the only way we can show them. And for my ambassadors, I did have a lot of them saying, no, it doesn't work. But we showed them. We are here to listen to you and to try to fulfill your needs. So we are here to serve you, basically. So we showed them that. By showing them that we pull out time for them, because sometimes we're so busy in our regular day, and I tell that the leaders as well, you're so busy that you oversee stuff. But I ask them, please put everything aside. You are what's important, and that's what I tell my ambassador as well. You are the important one. Without you, the mission is not capable. Without you, there won't be no we. So we need you, and that's why. Help us overcome that.
And so something that happened fairly recently was there was a directive signed to make sexual harassment can you take me through that, a criminal act in the UCMJ, is that right?
Yes, President Biden just did sign that, and we were very happy because sexual harassment, a lot of people don't take it seriously, and that showed that if the main top leader is telling you, yes, it's serious, it's happening, and it's not gonna go by our law, it's gonna get punished. People are going to start, okay, yeah, it's a problem, because it is a problem in our rank. But doing stuff like that he did, it demonstrate the program is going to work, the program is working. So having his back, it felt good. Really good.
Yeah, and so do you think that it not being a criminal act before maybe have encouraged some, not encouraged, but did it make your job a little harder that it wasn't?
A little bit, because leaders were trying to put it on the rod. However, by this is going to tell leaders. And one thing that I told my battle buddies, Miss Cortez, when I first got here, I told her, wow, I never seen a commander so involved in this program. I never seen that in my life. My whole career being like commanders is just, oh yeah, we're going to dedicate time to Sharp. But General Allen dedicates his whole time on Sharp. Like, he is very involved. And Sergeant Major Peters, he is super involved as well. So we have backup from them like crazy. So that's one thing that I had to say about 19. 19 is very involved when it comes to Sharp. When it comes to this program, it make a difference. It make a huge difference because the soldiers see it. The soldiers see how much input the commander put in there.
And that ties back in with sexual harassment too, because General Allen has his I'm blanking on the continuum of harm, because basically it's showing that the continuum of harm, and if you're in 19th, you've seen this board a lot. It shows you like once you go into the harassment realm, basically it's, you're crossing a red line. And so can you expand on that a little bit? Is that basically, did I describe it the right way?
Yes, you're in the right way, because what General Allen is trying to say is the Army continual harm has a yellow line in there. And the yellow line means that once you do the comment, that's what she said, that's what he say, little comments that are incestual in nature, you in the yellow line. That's what the Army say. But General Allen said, no, there's no yellow line on my ranks. As soon as you make that comment, you're already sexually harassing somebody. So that's another thing that soldiers notice it. Soldiers was like, wow, him bringing this, General Allen is showing us that this is a no-go. I cannot be behaving the way I used to behave in high school, or I used to behave in the school, or I used to behave in the street, where I could call and make those comments and do those catcalling, and no problem is going to be. But General Allen is saying, no, as soon as you make that, you can offend your battle buddy. So stop it. It's not going to be in here.
Yeah, that's putting it very well put. And then, so as part of SAPM, we mentioned before we started recording the poetry contest.
Yes.
And what can you tell me about that?
So we are going to encourage junior leaders to write a poem on prevention start with you. what do that means to them. And we asking them to submit it to their VA. The VA is going to submit it to us, and we are going to pick a winner, and that winner is going to get to be posted on Facebook. So we are going to do that every week during April.
Okay, great. And again, so your contact information is readily available. There's a Sharp tab on the 19th ESC homepage. That's www.army.mil/19th ESC. You'll see a Sharp button on there, and that'll take you to all your information. And they don't have to go to you as well. You talked about you have lots of personnel supporting you. Every unit has a VA or a SARC,
yes.
And so they can go to them as well. Anything else you want to touch on before we close up here?
Just to remember people that we are here for you. So you are what's important. Okay, the mission is important, but without you, the mission will be able to be successful. So we need you, and we are here to support you 100%.
Okay, well, thank you for coming by, Sergeant Paulino, and thanks for kicking off SAPM with me, Sexual Assault Awareness Prevention Month, all of April. Okay, well, and come back anytime. We'd like to have you again sometime down the road, but thanks for listening to the Every Soldier Counts podcast. I'm Sergeant Adam Ross, and we'll talk to you next time.